na wasifu za Munshid. Tazama ukumbi wa Kiislamu nami Alishe kila Ijumaa saa 9:30 katika KBC Channel 1.
Well, good afternoon to you and welcome to our broadcast at this hour. We're keeping tabs on stories that are currently making headlines. But of note is a press briefing that has just concluded at the NSSF building. We'll have more for you, given that there was a crackdown on rogue agencies in terms of labor recruitment agencies, despite the government issuing a warning on that particular aspect, where over, according to statistics that has been shared by our very own, that is Nancy Okware, out of the 390 cases, 15 cases have been completed and forwarded to the ODPP for prosecution. Those are among the stories that we're keeping an eye on at this hour. As and when we get more details, we'll be telling you. Welcome to our broadcast. My name is Abdiaziz Hashim, and we'll be talking more on our social media platforms, so reach out there. We start off with a story in Taita Taveta County, where residents of Voi in Taita Taveta have backed the construction of a modern intensive care unit, saying the project will significantly improve access to critical healthcare services. Now, the support was expressed during a public participation forum held in Voi Town, where residents urged leaders to prioritize healthcare and keep development projects free from political interference. Locals claim for years critically ill patients from Taita Taveta have been referred to hospitals in Mombasa and Nairobi, a process they claim is expensive and emotionally draining, and in some cases fatal due to delays. Once completed, the ICU is expected to reduce referrals, save lives, and significantly strengthen healthcare delivery in Taita Taveta County. Yo promta karibu. Ai ileteni karibu kabisa.
Ama kwa private hospitals ambazo ziko Mombasa, na imekuwa ni gharama kubwa sana kwa ajili ya wagonjwa ambao wanaenda huko. Manake mgonjwa akienda kwa yeye kutibika vizuri, anahitaji kando na kupata utaalamu, awe near the relatives ama jamii yake iwe karibu, anaweza kuja na kumuona na kumuongelesha na kadhalika.
Hiyo project tutaweza kuseparate surgical patients na general patients. Tutakuwa na hiyo project iko na accident and emergency. Hapo ground floor kutakuwa na accident and emergency theater, trauma theater, minor theater, radiology, mahali ya kuwa na x-rays na laboratory. Alafu juu tutakuwa na ICU 7 beds na HDU 5 beds na 2 operating theaters. Alafu third floor tutakuwa na female surgical ward ya 44 beds. Alafu juu fourth floor tutakuwa na male surgical wards ya 44 beds pia.
And in other news, police officers at Namanga, one-stop border post in Kajiado County, have intercepted a cross-border consignment with a street value of 2.5 million shillings destined for Nairobi County. The 84-kilogram haul was discovered during a routine border luggage inspection, leading to the arrest of 2 suspects who are currently being held at the Namanga police station pending arraignment in court. Kajiado County Police Commander Alex Shikondi warned cross-border drug traffickers, saying the security agencies are on high alert at the border.
Na mwenye kupokea mzigo ako Nairobi. Tunaendelea kumsaka. Saizi maofisa wetu wengine wako Nairobi wanaendelea kumsaka na tunajua kwamba atapatikana. Tunaomba raia pia waendelee kutusaidia kwa hii vita. Hii vita inadhuru sisi wote.
The smugglers out there, people who like to smuggle through Namanga border, that we get them in custody, and all prohibited items will be confiscated and people will be prosecuted in court and taken to jail.
Well, this particular story was telling you earlier on when it comes to the Labour, Social and Protection Cabinet Secretary Alfred Mutua issuing a press briefing on the crackdown and arrest of rogue Labour recruitment. It has emerged that a task force formed in July has discovered 390 cases as a result of Wananchi visiting and filing complaints with the relevant ministry. Let's listen more from the Cabinet Secretary.
Labour fraud. The task force wishes to report as follows. 390 cases are under investigation as a result of Wananchi visiting the task force and giving their grievances, explaining how they were swindled, how they were conned over a period of time. 15 files completed and forwarded to the DPP, and they are waiting scrutiny and permission to charge. Others have already been charged, we will come to it, but out of the investigation, 15 files have been given to the DPP. Question will arise, why out of 390, only 15? It is investigation of fraud needs a follow-up of paperwork. The DCI has to go to court, apply for special permission to get bank statements, to get Safaricom M-Pesa statements. So there's a process that is undertaken. They have to do verification of documents. So it takes time before a case can be built that needs proper evidence that can stand the day in court. Therefore, that's you find that 6 months on the line, only 15 cases have been completed because of that judicial process that has been done. If you're accused, the DCI cannot just arrest you or go to a bank and get your records. They still have to file a case. The judge has to listen, give permission for access to your bank account details for investigation. So more of a forensic investigation. Now, out of the 390 cases, 106 involved travel agents. Travel agents, not just recruitment agents, but travel agents. Some of the individuals, and this is very important to note, some of the individuals whose names or companies have swindled Kenyans are not registered with the National Employment Agency, and some are not even registered with the Bureau of Business Registration. They are not known. Ni mtu tu aliamka leo akaform kampani yake inaitwa Twende Kazi Majuu Company Limited. The company is not registered anywhere in the country of Kenya, does not even have a bank account, has nothing, and they put fake posters and people give them money. And then people come to us and say, I was conned. These agencies zinatudanganya. Leo ni mtu tu aliamka tu asubuhi moja akaform company yake, akaweka letterhead, they are not even registered as a company, they are not even registered with National Employment Agency, we don't know that person. And you ask the person, how did you pay? We gave cash to this person. We are going to Canada. I gave cash, 500,000 shillings. I met a lady, she was pregnant. She had been swindled 1.1 million shillings by a company that in the books and the records of company registration in Kenya. But she had willingly given 400, 500, 600, visa inatoka, 1.1 million shillings of her money to be taken to Canada. So it is important to know that there are scrupulous people out there taking advantage of our people. And that is where the government has been giving advisory after advisory on how to look for kazi maju jobs in the proper way. Let me...
Well, that was earlier on. If you're just joining us, the Labour and Social Protection Cabinet Secretary Alfred Mutua addressing members of the Fourth Estate at the NSSF buildings in regards to a crackdown they launched back in July, and the task force has handed over that particular report where 390 cases have been reported. Out of the 390, 15 of them have been transmitted to the ODPP's office for prosecution, and also 106 were involving travel agencies. Nancy Okora is currently covering that particular briefing. She will give you more details in our subsequent bulletins. In other news now, Kitui County Executive Committee member for Energy, Richard John Mwendandu, says the county government is working hard to ensure many young people are enrolled on technical and vocational institution. Mwendandu was responding to an incident where a young man resorted to hanging a tree to protest, where young people were denied a scholarship to join vocational institutions.
Kitui County has responded to a demand by a young man, Martin Mulwa, who resorted to hugging a tree to protest against young people being denied sponsorship to attend technical college.
Kile anasisitiza kwa serikali ni kutrain vijana 100 through sponsorship ndio waweze kupata the skills, technical skills that they can do, wanaweza fanya kazi kwa mikono yao ndio wapate ajira.
Mulwa's protest was aimed at compelling the Kitui County government to sponsor at least 100 youth to enroll in technical and vocational education and training institutions. According to him, many young people in the county are willing to learn practical skills but lack financial support.
Wazazi wengi hawana hiyo pesa ya kuwalipia mtihani wa mwisho ndio wapate certification. Ni pesa mingi, ni 5,000 kwa kila kijana.
Kitui County Executive Committee member for Energy, Environment, Forestry, Natural and Mineral Resources Richard John Mwendandu assured residents that steps are being taken to find a solution to the demands.
Serikali ya Kitui imetenga milioni 20 this financial year, na KCB Foundation ikapeana milioni 20 kwa mpango program inaitwa Tujajiri program, whereby serikali ya Kitui ikipeana shilingi moja, KCB Foundation inapeana shilingi moja. Kwa hivyo serikali ya Kitui ikapeana 20 million, KCB ikapeana 20 million, ambayo ni program inaanza this February na train vijana 1,000. Na wao tunakusanya vijana kutoka every ward in Kitui County.
Vile kijana mwenyewe Martin alikuwa ameshikilia mti, hiyo ni ishara ya kwamba mti na miti na mazingira ni muhimu sana katika maisha yetu, na ni vizuri tutunze, tuguze na tuendelea na kupanda miti.
Kilifi County technical colleges continue to record low enrollment despite having adequate facilities. Stakeholders now want political leaders to fully fund students to increase enrollment and reduce unemployment among rural youth.
Prayer that God Almighty will open the ways so that our leaders, especially the political leaders, can support the idea of that becoming a national polytechnic, and that they will sponsor students from the Kilifi County, the local community. They sponsor students to come to this facility and acquire skills which will help them work abroad and bring money at home.
For instance, Godoma Technical Training Institute in Ganze constituency currently hosts fewer than 1,000 students despite having a capacity of 3,000.
It is a challenge for us so that we can be able to rally the locals around so that they can come and enroll, so that we can boost the enrollment. Take advantage of the Ngaos. They are here. Our mashinani 24/7.
Reporting for Lunchtime News, I'm Aaron Marie.
Still on education matters, twin brothers from Baringo Central are facing the risk of missing admission to grade 10 after their family failed to raise the required school fees. This case highlighting the growing financial strain facing many parents as thousands of learners are yet to report to senior school because of school fees.
Douglas Cherogony and Victor Cherogony from Cereals Mumol in Baringo Central may miss their chance to join grade 10 due to lack of school fees.
Nilikuwa nasoma Mumol, nikang'ang'ana nikaitiwa Inamoi, nilikuwa na points 53, lakini fees ni shida, naomba mnisaidie.
Nimeitiwa Baringoi, ni shule kubwa sana, nataka fees mingi na nimekosa fees. Nilikuwa na 67 points. Nikipata chance na kusoma vizuri sana.
Douglas secured admission to Oinomoi Boys Senior School, while his twin brother Victor earned a place at Baringo Boys National Senior School, a milestone achievement for the family that has now turned into a financial struggle.
Mzazi ana chochote. Nikinipia fees nitashukuru sana. Nitakuwa nasaidia mzazi nikimaliza shule. Nitakuwa namsaidia.
Kupata chakula ni ngumu. Nilikuwa naomba mnisaidie niende shule. Nilikuwa mkubwa nimsaidie mzazi yangu.
Their mother Beatrice Kulei survives in manual jobs, including washing clothes to provide for a family.
Nimekuja kujua hawa vijana pamoja na mama yake wakiishi katika maisha ya kustruggle, ile tunaita hand to mouth. Huyu mama amekuwa na watoto wengine wa kusomesha. Alikuwa akichoma mahindi hapa cereals, lakini kwa ajili ya ile uzito wa kusomesha ule mtoto ambaye alimaliza form 4 last year, aliweza kutumia ile alikuwa nayo yote mpaka akatumia ile capital ya kumwezesha aendelee kuchoma mahindi.
She says despite her best efforts, she has been unable to raise the required admission fees for the boys, leaving her emotionally drained. Beatrice is now appealing to well-wishers and good Samaritans to support her children so they can continue with their education.
Sasa mimi naomba tu usaidizi. Unisaidia watoto waende shule, wamtimise hata ndoto yao. Kuna mwenye anasema anataka kuwa daktari, kuna mwenye anasema anataka lawyer. Sasa mimi naomba tu mnisaidie.
Elsewhere, a bright student who scored 65 points in the recent KJSEA examinations is now stranded at home after failing to raise school fees. Stacy Sunday, who secured admission to State House School, risks missing out on her education dream as her family struggles financially.
It's so bad. It comes to my mind that others are in school learning, but I'm at home lonely, without hopes that one day I'll even go there, because my family is very poor. They can't afford those things, the requirements, the shopping, the fees, and everything it takes for.
Her mother, Kadenyi Mbaga, who survives on manual jobs, is appealing to well-wishers and education stakeholders to intervene and support her daughter.
Kuna kitu nimenunua kufikia saa hii kwa sababu mimi mwenyewe ni mama fua. Niende nifue nipate kidogo akule. Niende nifue nipate kidogo. Ndio maisha angalau iendelee. Maisha imekuwa ngumu kwa.
Elsewhere, the Nakuru Town West National Government Constituency Development Fund NGCDF committee is under scrutiny over allegations of skewed project allocation and irregularities in the tender award process. A lobby group has petitioned the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission EACC to investigate what it claims to be mismanagement of the said funds.
A lobby group in Nakuru County has petitioned the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission EACC to investigate alleged mismanagement of NGCDF funds in the constituency. The Kapkures Residents Association further requests that the Directorate of Criminal Investigations DCI to investigate the issuance of bursaries, citing allegations of corruption, nepotism and mismanagement of funds intended for the needy students.
Kiongozi hafai kutaja kabila ya mtu yeyote, yeye anafaa kupeana maendeleo kwa wote. We are very disappointed also in terms of development. Ameweza kusideline community pamoja na area ambazo anajua kwamba hapati support kubwa. Na pesa ya basari na pesa ya CDF kwa jumla haikuji kwa sababu haigawanywi kwa minajili ya wale watu ambao walikupigia kura ama kwa ajili ya kabila fulani. CDF wakati inakuja mgawanyo inakuja kwa sababu ya voters wote.
Through their spokesman Kennedy Langat, the association complained that in some instances, official lists of beneficiaries are not released, making it impossible to verify if funds are distributed fairly.
Tungependa maendeleo yote ifanyike kwa haki na usawa. Na tungependa pia kumuhakikishia kwamba sisi pia tukiwa broad-based governments.
Kennedy Langat charged that NGCDF committee was unfairly allocating development projects and funds to certain wards, leading to significant discrepancies in the constituency's development, adding that there was a need to release an updated geographical data and project allocation aimed to reveal true distribution patterns.
And that's why we are demanding EACC to do a thorough investigation on the user of CDF money in Nakuru West sub-county. You cannot abuse a community because of where they stay.
Na baada ya election, wale wote ambao walipata viti, wote walikubaliana kwa kule National Assembly wakati waliinua Biblia kwamba watatumikia raia wote, sio kwa sababu ati walipigiwa kura na wachache, wale wengine ati hawana kiongozi wao ambaye walimpigia kura na hakupata.
The group warned against community profiling in Nakuru, cautioning political leaders against using divisive politics. Dennis Branham, Lunchtime News.
And in other news, dozens of needy learners across different parts of the country are getting a lifeline to stay in school as governments backed scholarships and community bursaries case is the rising cost of education. In Kilifi and Homa Bay counties, education stakeholders are engaged in a campaign to ensure no learner is locked out of school.
68 bright students from humble backgrounds in Malindi sub-county have secured full sponsorship under the Elimu Scholarship Program sponsored by the Jomo Kenyatta Foundation. The beneficiaries were officially flagged off by Malindi Member of Parliament Amina Mnyazi, who lauded the program for lifting the heavy financial burden faced by struggling families, noting that many households cannot afford school fees.
Wale wanafunzi ambao wameweza kuwachagua hapa na wameweza kubahatika, they are very very needy students. Nitoe shukrani zangu kubwa kwa Wizara ya Elimu, nitoe pia shukrani zangu kubwa kwa watu ambao wamehusika katika hii program, watu wa Jomo Kenyatta Foundation, na nizidi kuomba ya kwamba tuweze kushirikiana zaidi na zaidi.
Tutaweza kutembea kijiji kwa kijiji, nyumba kwa nyumba, kuhakikisha watoto wetu wote wameenda shule na wameweza kuandikishwa kwa mashule tofauti tofauti. Takwimu zinaashiria ya kwamba wanafunzi wale ambao wanahitaji kuwa grade ya 6 hadi grade ya 9, wengi wao hawajaweza kwenda shule, na tunaomba wazazi waweze kuchukua majukumu yao kwa uzito, waweze kupeleka watoto shule.
Niko nayo furaha tele, sikujua kama mtoto wangu kwa kweli atapata nafasi hii, na nilikuwa mwenyewe najihurumia kwa sababu kwa kweli siwezi hata kubeba mizigo mizito, kufanya biashara angalau mtoto wangu aweze kuenda shule.
Similarly, in Homa Bay County, at least 300 vulnerable learners have benefited from a 780,000 bursary program initiated by philanthropist Bruce Ogweno to help needy students remain in school. The bursary has supported learners across several secondary schools.
Projection is targeting 300 students is around 780,000 that I'm going to use to support our students get education. I want to appeal to the government to fasten the process of ensuring that we have a system where each and every child in this society or in this country can access education.
I want to urge all the parents who have got their children who sat for the assessments last year. Let your children go to school. For those who might be experiencing challenges with resources, reach out to any government body. Reach out to the school where the children are called, discuss your issues with the principals. Should you have any issue beyond that, visit the office of the Sub-County Director of Education.
Education administrators in both regions have urged parents to ensure a 100% transition to senior secondary school.
Alex Kipkirui, a resident of Borborwet in Belgut sub-county, is being celebrated after emerging the best candidate at the Borborwet Secondary School in the 2025 KCC examinations despite having been out of class for 10 years. Kipkirui suffered a spinal cord injury in 2015 while playing rugby at Kericho High School, an incident that forced him to drop out of that particular institution. For a decade, he remained at home, but in a remarkable show of resilience, Kipkirui registered for the 2025 KCC examination as a private candidate, studied from home and defied all the odds by scoring a mean grade of a B+, or B plain, topping his school. Moved by his determination, Siloam Hospital in Kericho stepped in to support his recovery journey.
Juzi nilirudi shule 2025 after being out of school for 10 years and nikafanya my KCSE while I was studying at home and nikapata B stand at Borborwet Secondary School. I was the leading student there. Today the Siloam Hospital has visited me and they've offered me to be taking me to for physiotherapy twice a week.
We are so moved about his resilience and determination. Beyond our commitment to provide physiotherapy services twice in a week, our aim is to stand with his needs so that he's able to move on with his life, to be able to support himself.
It is exactly 26 minutes past the hour. We need to take a short breather. When we come back, we'll tell you more about the stories making headlines in current affairs, business, as well as sports. So don't go too far.
True love never fails. It never dies. It only fights harder.
Rebecca, just one chance. Give me one chance and I promise you this is going to work out.
Color of Passion, where love, family, and destiny collide.
Didn't I tell you to shut up?
We rewind, retake all the moments, and begin from the top.
I don't care, but for me, that's not right.
From the heart of Mexico comes the story where love burns brighter than the morning sun and jealousy hides behind every smile.
It seems that you're madly in love with him, or maybe you're just desperate to get married. That's why you grabbed someone you barely know.
Passion becomes both a blessing and a curse.
I demand you to tell me the kind of relationship that you have with Marcelo.
We start all over again, from the top.
Looking to advertise on KBC? KBC announcement services are now available on eCitizen. Visit kbc.ecitizen.go.ke and fill out the online application form. It's simple. 1. Complete the form. 2. Upload required documents. 3. Receive a quotation based on word count. And 4. Get notified via SMS when your announcement is ready. Please note, clearly indicate the type of announcement, service station, and all relevant details. 2. All applications must be made online only. Manual submissions will not be accepted. And 3. Announcements will air after news bulletins. For assistance, reach us on email ecitizen@kbc.co.ke or use our social media handles, Facebook, your Facebook account, and X at your X account. Or you can call us on 0723-892-654 or 0734-780-124. KBC announcements. Simple, fast, and digital.
Got the fear of missing out? Want to keep up with all the latest entertainment news and latest celebrity gossip? From the latest rumors to popping events to the newest fashion trends, here is where you get all the tea or juice when it comes to entertainment, and you get it served on time. All that that and so much more on Grapevine every single Monday only on KBC Channel 1. Remember, if you did not see it on Grapevine, then it most probably never happened.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. Now, James Wanjohi, a philanthropist, is challenging those who are well endowed in the society to help needy students pursue their education for a better country. Wanjohi, who has promised to support a needy student, Danson Monekim, until she clears her studies, says the society must value social welfare as a way of trying to uplift those who are struggling, something that can be attained through education. Moneki's mother, Zipporah Nyambura, could not hide her joy for the support.
Nimefurahi juu nimeingia kwa maofisi mingi nikiomba usaidizi na sijawahi pata, lakini James Wanjohi aliona picha yangu ikitrend akaulizia Firidida ni nani na huyo mkulino ni wa wapi. Siku ya leo ako hapa kwangu. Mimi naweza sema Mungu ambariki, na amesema atasomeza mtoto mpaka amalize shule.
Nataka tu kushukuru MP kwa kunisaidia na nikumwambia sio mimi tu niko hapa, kuna wengine tu, aende tu asaidie huko nje na endelee tu hivyo, na ni asante sana.
Kwa uwezo wa Mwenyezi Mungu, watoto wanasoma hata kama ni kwa shida sana. Tumeona school capitation inasema ya kwamba about 400,000 students hawana cha kufanya, ama the intake yao kuingia mashule haipatikani. So what I would like to say ni kwamba hawa wanafunzi wanafaa kusaidiwa.
Bandari Maritime Academy Chief Executive Officer Dr. Eric Katanam has flagged off 10 cadets to various shipping lines globally in partnership with Daninka Crewing Agency. Speaking during a ceremony, Dr. Katana said the academy currently has 120 cadets in the database seeking opportunities. Daninka Crewing Agency Chief Executive Officer Henrik Jensen commended the quality of training at the academy and expressed confidence in Kenya's maritime potential, promising to continue working closely with the institute.
Time. Then we have signed several MOUs. We are not stopping there. Under the leadership of Waziri Joho, we've been able to sign recently an MOU with the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, so there's more opportunities coming. We've also signed an MOU with the Dominican Republic, and we're also very soon signing an MOU with Singapore. That means more and more opportunities for the Kenyan youth.
I'm sure that that Kenya has a great potential. You have a lot of talent. I see the education here, how the training is going. I'm very impressed. And I hope that our small project here with the 10 cadets is going to push others to come too. And I'm sure the cadets here, what I've seen today also here, I'm sure the cadets will be successful here. And from these 10 you see around here, one of them will be the first Kenyan captain on a foreign ship one day. Yeah.
This is a very good experience for us, and we want to promise Waziri Joho and the entire fraternity of Bandari Maritime Academy that we're not going to disappoint you. We're going out there to make Bandari proud, and we'll come back with very good results.
And also, we love fellow youth to also join in the maritime field and become also the future seafarers so that we can build our country together.
Machakos County water sector workers are threatening to down tools within 24 hours over claims of irregular restructuring process of salaries, arrears, among other concerns. Led by their acting Secretary General, Matilda, the workers said the county government is attempting to merge 6 water companies into a single entity, a move they claim goes against the national trends, violating existing court orders and advice from regulators. The union is demanding the reinstatement of over 1,000 workers from the 6 water companies who are declared redundant.
We cannot continue with this. Wavinya Ndeti must be stopped. We are wondering what is happening in Machakos. Wavinya Ndeti is overstepping her mandate. She is the governor, we respect her for that. But she must respect the regulations, she must respect the rule of law, she must respect the regulator advices. Simple. If she does not reinstate those staff within 24 hours. We are planning to do a picket in Machakos County to mobilize all our members together with the community in Machakos to demand for reinstatement of all those staff.
Now, a multi-agency team comprising of NACADA officers, the Anti-Narcotics Police Unit, DCI and regular police officers have recovered a bang worth 4 million shillings in Ahero, Kisumu County. A notorious peddler was arrested during the morning raid on several storage and peddling points adjacent to the Ahero Girls' School.
In the early morning raid that involved a multi-agency team comprising of NACADA officials, Anti-Narcotic Police Unit, Director of Criminal Officers, and regular police, storage point manned by notorious peddler was broken into, recovering large volumes of bang.
And we were able to recover bang worth approximately almost 4 million. And this was recovered from one notorious trafficker who was arrested. And this is somebody who has been arrested almost 3 times in less than a year. They are out on bond, and it seems they are still continuing with this business.
Next was a peddling point that is situated right in front of Ahero Girls. Sources from the school says the school management had severally sought assistance to have the suspect arrested, but to no avail.
Where another drug den was raided, and we were able to again confiscate cannabis in the form of tariffs. But the suspect is on the run. And this is part of the renewed fight against drug abuse in the country, as was proclaimed by the President in his New Year's address.
So we have been trying, putting all efforts to ensure that we eradicate this drug. But you know, the people who are also involved in this crime, they are very cunning. So sometimes they try to hide from the eyes of the security officers. And we are trying all our best to ensure that we stamp out this crime out of our sub-county.
NACADA officials are warning that the crackdown will continue until the illicit trade is wiped out of the area.
They are going to be arraigned in court. And remember, the President also talked about forfeiture of seized assets, which are suspected to be proceeds of this crime. So those processes are going to be started, and especially because this person is a notorious trafficker, the process is going to be commenced so that whatever is suspected and proven to be a proceed of this activity is going to be forfeited back to the state.
Today morning also, the police officer who are manning a road block at Ahero flagged down a Nissan Matatu, whereby they managed to seize 3 pallets of bang at the road block. 3 suspects were arrested, who are in custody, the police custody, being processed and awaiting arraignment in court. So the Nissan was traveling to Nairobi.
Achola Simon, Lunchtime News, Kisumu County.
A section of professionals from the Luo community have broken their silence on Kenya's evolving political landscape, calling for inclusive governance, political unity, and urgent implementation of agreed national reforms, including the implementation of the 10-point agenda. Addressing a press conference in Nairobi County, the professionals also threw their weight behind the broad-based government framework initiated by President William Ruto and the late former Prime Minister Raila Amolo Odinga. The group further called for unity within the Orange Democratic Movement ODM, urging discipline and cohesion to strengthen the position as a national political force. They also endorsed participated dialogue and coalition building across party lines, including engagement with the United Democratic Alliance, that is the UDM, saying politics must ultimately serve national interests rather than personal ambitions.
Because it affects our people. We are more concerned about the unity of the parties that in our region because it affects our people. We are more concerned about the history of our community.
Kila Mkenya anataka kuona kwamba wale ambao waliathirika wakati wa ghasia za baada za uchaguzi, wale ambao kwa bahati mbaya walikufa wamefidiwa, kila agenda inafaa itimizwe. Na yeyote ambaye ana lengo ya kuhakikisha kwamba zile agenda zijatimia, haitakuwa vyema kwa Mkenya yote.
A well-organized, politically engaged community is critical to ensuring that we can exercise our democratic power effectively in the 2027 general elections and secure meaningful representation and influence in governance.
Elsewhere, 12 suspects are nabbed after allegedly committing a wave of crimes in Butula Sub-County, Busia County, have been denied bond on allegations of posing high threat to the complainants. The suspects, who hail from Mondasi village, have been accused of 11 counts of crime that include arson, robbery with violence and murder, among others. Appearing before Busia High Court Chief Magistrate Simfi Makila, the accused denied involvement in the 11 counts and were remanded until January the 28th.
From the affidavit presented before court, I am satisfied that as at this stage, the prosecution has exhibited compelling reasons for denial of bond. For instance, some of the suspects are still at large, as indicated, and some of the accused persons went into hiding after committing the offense and were only arrested a year later. The defense also admits that there is existence of animosity between the accused persons and some of the complainants. I am convinced that there is a real possibility of retaliatory attacks being committed if the bond is granted at this stage. I will direct that the issue of bond be revisited by the trial court, court number 2, which will be sitting from next week. So for now, I deny bond.
Elsewhere, school managers in Nyamira and Kisii counties have lauded a directive by the government that chiefs trace all grade 10 learners who are still at home and have them report to school. Gekano Boys Senior School Deputy Principal Evans Kugenda said the directive will make it easier for schools to try and locate learners who are yet to take their grade 10 slots and try to understand their challenges for assistance. Now, Orere expressed optimism that the school will admit the 500 allocated slots, although only 252 have since reported. Other participants from schools in the area welcomed the extension of the deadline for reporting, advising parents on how to get support from various organizations, including county development funds and bursaries from government agencies.
Chiefs can really help us. I'm told there's still others out there who probably don't want to come because of various reasons.
There are children who have the heart of joining high school, but because of financial constraints, they cannot be able to make it to high school. Through the assistance of the chief, not only going to see where the children are, they also know they can advise these parents and children that there are bursaries.
We had been working with our local chiefs. In fact, the area chief had already identified in advance learners who had issues.
And now here's the latest in business. We start off with an event that is currently ongoing. It's about the Departmental Committee on Finance and National Planning jointly with the Select Committee on Public Debt Privatization in regards to the sales or shareholding in Safaricom PLC. Let's listen in.
Infrastructure Fund. Of course, the money will come probably at the moment. If it is concluded before it's formed, it will go to another fund. But I want to ask you, do you think that all Kenyans would have sat down and agree on the price, really? You know very well that Kenyans, there is a way of evaluating the stock and agreeing on how to sell, and there is nothing that was wrong on this sale. There is nothing. If you have information that there is something wrong that was done, then be on record and tell this, because so many people are following. So many people are just listening on your presentation today. So just tell the people, this is your opportunity to actually tell the Kenyans something went wrong and this is what went wrong. But based on what we know, the CEO was there of Safaricom, the CS was there, and several stakeholders have come and just did their presentation the way you did. So my question to you is, do you really think there is a smoking gun in the country? Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Mine would be brief and straight to the point. Thank you so much, our colleague. You really made a powerful presentation, which has really enriched me, and I believe it has enriched the committee. But I would just like to ask, Honorable, that you seem to say that you have no problem with privatization. Yes, and you have a problem with evaluation. And Honorable Kaluma has mentioned it, but I was just feeling like I really wish you would have given us what you think was best in terms of valuation, because you've talked of us having maybe more 150 billion, 100 billion. So I don't know, in your computation, because they have floated at 34 shillings, as per you, how much would it be? And you've also put it so well that while you were in the corridors of power, there were some of these things which were floated. And in your view, if we'd have split into three, we would have gotten more. So, as at that time, are you able to give us the figures that, as at that time, because you said there were even more, how much are you looking at? And what exactly happened as at that time? What hindered the sale as at that time that probably now is okay? So, thank you. I think that is my main concern.
Thank you, Mheshimiwa Manduku.
Thank you, Chairman, and thank you.
And the members kindly, Manduku, if we can get straight to the question so that...
Well, that is an event that is currently ongoing. It is regards to the shareholding within the Safaricom PLC. Both committees of the Departmental Committee of Finance and the National Planning are jointly considering some of the suggestions that are being made by the various stakeholders. Our very own Duta Mukami is covering that particular briefing. As and when it's concluded, she will inform us in our subsequent bulletins. In other news now, Kenya is set to host the first Africa-France Summit outside Francophone Africa in May this year. Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi says the government is committed to delivering a successful and impactful summit whose key focus areas include the international financial architecture, energy transition, green industrialization, among others.
Kenya is stepping up preparations for the Africa-France Summit, set to take place in Nairobi from the 11th to the 12th of May 2026. Prime Cabinet Secretary and Cabinet Secretary for Foreign and Diaspora Affairs, Musalia Mudavadi, says the summit is of high strategic importance to Kenya, noting that it will be the first time the forum is hosted in a non-Francophone African country since its inception in 1973.
For us as Kenya, we really feel honored to be the first non-French speaking country to be participating in this forum.
Speaking in Paris after talks with French Minister for Europe and Foreign Affairs Jean-Noël Barrot, Mudavadi said Kenya is pushing for summit outcomes that are concrete, bankable and monitorable. Key focus areas include reform of the international financial architecture, energy transition, green industrialization, digital innovation, sustainable agriculture, health systems and climate action.
Key is the reform of the international financial architecture, then leveraging African solutions for the energy transition and increasing access to electricity, advancing green industrialization in Africa, unlocking the potential of the blue economy.
The French government says the summit seeks to re-embody France's relationship with Africa and promote diversity within the organization of the summit.
This will be a very important moment, other than the fact that it is symbolically very important of this kind of summit, because this will allow embodying the reinvention of our relationship with African countries.
The discussions further covered peace and security, health, infrastructure and aviation, reaffirming Kenya's commitment to strengthening bilateral cooperation with France. Ian Ziva for Lunchtime News.
On the international front, Sudan is facing up to the impact of a worsening energy crisis, with oil fields being forced to shut down and refineries ceasing operations amid a hugely damaging armed conflict which has persisted for nearly 3 years. In December, the fighting led to a complete shutdown of production and the evacuation of all staff in the oil fields in Sudan's largest oil site. Here are the details of this and other stories making headlines across the globe.
Almost all oil fields in major oil-producing regions of central and western Sudan have been forced to halt operations due to the extent of the civil war which erupted between the Sudanese armed forces and the paramilitary Rapid Support Forces in April 2023. Data from Sudan's finance ministry shows that the country's oil revenue has fallen by more than 50% compared to pre-conflict levels. The Khartoum refinery, located near the capital Khartoum, is Sudan's largest refinery, with its diesel, gasoline and liquefied petroleum gas production once supplying about 70% of the country's needs. However, the refinery was severely damaged in the fighting and remains shut. Meanwhile, several local instant messaging software applications in Iran were restored for use early Tuesday morning. Users can now access various interactive functions, including group chat, dynamic posting and multimedia transmission. Iran restored access to Google's search engine on Sunday following a 10-day nationwide blackout, a day after short message service resumed. Iran imposed severe restrictions on access to the global internet and suspended SMS on January 8th, citing riots and terrorist attacks targeting civilians, security forces and public buildings. Finally, the soaring prices of rice and other daily necessities have increased the cost of living for households in Japan. The average price of rice in supermarkets across Japan has reached about $27.03 per 5 kilograms, remaining at a historically high level. Some residents in Osaka say the higher prices have made increasingly difficult to afford, prompting them to specifically buy during supermarket discount days and professional offers, while others say price hikes have forced them to reduce their daily rice consumption. In addition to rice, other foods and daily necessities have also seen price increases, according to residents.
And now finally, let's play. Njoroge Kibugu carded an impressive 6 under par 64 to take an early lead after opening round of the APSA Invitational Series, which is the final leg of the Sunshine Development Tour East Africa Swing going on at Karen Country Club. Now, Kibugu's round featured 3 birdies on the front 9 at the first, 7th and 9th hole, which dropped shots on the 6th and the 8th. Rwanda's Celestine sits second on the leader board after posting 5 under par. Isai Otuke and Johnny Limb both share third place on a 3 under par.
2 bogeys on the card today. 6 under. I'm happy with the score. The course was playing quite alright. The greens aren't the smoothest, but obviously they're preparing for the Open. But I'll take the score.
I would say I want to win it 100% overall, because it will be my 3rd win of the tour and the final of the tour. So it will be a good win for me.
You feel much more comfortable playing at home. You know, I've played here since I was a kid. So I know my way around here. I know the greens, I know the lines of the tee, so it's a big advantage playing at home.
I just have to putt well, because I give myself plenty of opportunities for birdies here and there on the golf course, but I just need the putter to work. So if I'm able to roll in a few more birdies here and there, I should be able to see myself in the last group on the last day.
Let's head over to Europe, where Brighton missed a chance to move into the top 10 after being held to a 1-1 draw by Bournemouth in the only Premier League game played at the American Express Stadium. The draw pushed Bournemouth further away from the relegation zone after match day 22.
In stoppage time against Bournemouth in a 1-1 draw.
1-0. It's a very, very good penalty. Mitoma. Doskali's ball into the area. Van Hecker down. Kostelas with the overhead kick. That is absolutely brilliant.
Brighton coach Fabio Huzela was quick to praise the 18-year-old Greek forward who signed from Olympiacos in the summer.
The youngster makes his mark.
In Serie A, Hellas Verona were held to a goalless draw by Cremonense to remain bottom of the table, while their opponents Cremonense moved up 2 places to 12th on the Italian table.
Terracciano, Bonazzoli, Vardy, nicely done. This is Van der Putter. Straight out the keeper.
In the same league, Lazio suffered a heavy 3-0 defeat to Como at home, missing a chance to move above 8th-placed Bologna. The win was Como's 10th and moved them up to 6th on the table.
And the deflection has taken it past Providel. 90 seconds into the game. In comes the cross. Cacré drops the pass, and it's 2. And they're taking big strides towards their 10th win. It's pass. It's saved by Providel. And perhaps this might be a turning point for Lazio. Valle. Baturina.
And this evening, the Champions League is back. Of notable matches, such like Inter Milan will take on Arsenal, Olympiacos will take on Bayer Leverkusen, Real Madrid are set to host Monaco, and then Sporting CP will host Paris Saint-Germain. And then finally, we do have Spurs welcoming Borussia Dortmund all the way from Germany to their London stadium in the United Kingdom. Those are some of the matches within the UCL tonight. That concludes our bulletin. My name is Abdiaziz Hashim. The sign language interpreter at the bottom end of the screen is Lucy Mora. Good afternoon for now.
to enjoy free-to-air digital TV with crystal clear quality? Here's how to get started with Signet. Step 1. If you have a smart TV, you're good to go. Next, connect the aerial to your TV. Now, do an auto search on your TV. Just follow the prompts on the screen. And that's it. You're now tuned in to Signet. Sit back and enjoy a wide range of free-to-air digital channels. For technical inquiries, call the Signet hotline on 0770 572 656.
True love never fails. It never dies. It only fights harder.
Rebecca, just one chance. Give me one chance and I promise you this is going to work out.
Color of Passion, where love, family, and destiny collide.
Didn't I tell you to shut up?
We rewind, retake all the moments, and begin from the top.
I don't care, but for me, that's not right.
From the heart of Mexico comes the story where love burns brighter than the morning sun and jealousy hides behind every smile.
It seems that you're madly in love with him, or maybe you're just desperate to get married. That's why you grabbed someone you barely know.
Passion becomes both a blessing and a curse.
I demand you to tell me the kind of relationship that you have with Marcelo.
We start all over again, from the top.
Emergency operation. I need to go now.
The president didn't answer the phone.
We've encountered this situation in China before. The doctor there sewed a biofilm on the patient's abdomen. After the swelling subsides, we can completely close the abdomen.
Shan came all the way here to see you. It's clear she's doing all she can do. What more do you want? Don't think she's weak and can't live without you.
What's wrong?
I don't see Jiang Yao.
Did they disappear?
When I woke up at 5 a.m., I couldn't find Jiang Yao.
Essie, and check over there.
Jiang Yao, Mama 就是。Jiang Yao。
You know the drill by now, that the moment you get to see us on your screens, you know that it is time for you to get to know what is happening, matters, entertainment. What's up?
Wagwan, Miss V. Of late nimekuwa nikiwatch The Bag sana, yeah? Sijui kama umekuwa ukiwatch The Bag hata wewe.
Of course. I've been watching The Bag and it has been doing what it is supposed to do.
For the guy who is just, getting to know about The Bag right here, The Bag is a platform which has been giving DJs an opportunity, to do their live scratches. Alafu wanakuanga na pia na audience wengine hapo mabaddies. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Nairobi has very beautiful women, by the way.
I know.
Very beautiful women.
But again, that one aside, Miss V, what's your favorite The Bag edition?
Wow, I don't know if I can pick a specific one, because every DJ that has gone on that platform has done justice to the mixes. But I have to mention the Mara edition that Canada was on.
Oh my God, the Mara, yeah.
Yes, and then also Nick D had a good one as well. The likes of
DJ Festa.